Hello everyone and welcome back to Atari Vault. Today we're going to be playing Circus Atari. I have no idea. I'm guessing it's going to be very similar to Flea Circus. Except in a flea circus, like the traditional flea circus, there's no actual fleas. I hate to break that to you, but in a flea circus there's no actual fleas. It's all mechanical. You see little things going around and you can fool yourself into thinking you see fleas, and there maybe might be a couple of fleas glued down, but there's no actual like flea acrobats going across the tight wire or anything like that. It's not gonna happen. Or tight rope, tight wire, is that a thing? I have no idea. Anyway, let's look at this manual and see. Object of the game: pop the balloons and score points. All right, so nothing like a flea circus. This is like Breakout? Seriously? Kind of. It's like Breakout with a seesaw. Apparently, looking at the screens here. While the red, blue, and white balloons will appear at the top of the screen, you must pop balloons by catching a clown on the teeter-totter. Okay, not a seesaw, but a teeter-totter. And bouncing him up to the balloons. Isn't a seesaw and teeter-totter the same thing? Am I crazy? Are they synonyms? Each time a clown pops a balloon, the balloon will disappear and you score points. Well, I hope the balloon disappears once you pop it. Kind of, the law of physics. Each player receives 5 clowns or turns. If you fail to catch a clown on the teeter-totter, he will crash and disappear from the play field because he's dead. You've killed him, you monster. It's not what it says, but that'd be hilarious. Press the red controller button and another clown will bounce off the trampoline from the right or left corner of the playfield. After 2 clowns have crashed, the game is over. But you get 5 clowns. Why do you get 5 clowns if after 2 crashes the game's over? I'm confused. No, it says that is 5. You gotta zoom in. Just say 5. Okay. Clowns may land at any point of the teeter-totter except where the other clown is sitting, which causes them to crash. Well, that makes sense. Alright, so this does not require the gamepad. This probably plays better with the mouse. Just based on the controller there. We've seen that controller before. Anytime we've seen that controller, probably plays better with the mouse. Alright. So there are difficulty switches. When the difficulty switches in the A position, the clouds bounce faster after contact with the balloons. Oh, that'll just be horrible. And the B position, you have better control of the clowns because they aren't moving as fast. Okay, so that's slower. For one-player games, use the left difficulty switch. Okay, and then the color of black and white. Games 1 through 6 may... Okay, so this isn't really what I would call a circus. I would expect multiple game modes. Okay, and there are barriers below the balloons to make the game more challenging. But it doesn't actually show that. Okay, so 1 is Breakout Circus. As the clown pops the balloons, he rebounds from balloon to balloon, both horizontally and vertically. Each time a full row of balloons is popped, a new row appears, and you receive bonus points. The top row of red balloons are all popped to receive an extra clown. Okay. Game 2 is like Game 1, because the playfield has an additional wall of barriers added below the balloons, which makes the game more difficult. So that's kind of like Game 8. Okay, Game 3 is Breakout Circus, and Breakthrough Circus. Sorry, not Breakout. That's actually totally a different copyright. In Breakthrough Circus, the clown does not rebound off the balloons. He continues to move in a horizontal direction off the balloons. This version is somewhat easier for the beginning player. Yeah, it's basically like pass-through version of Breakout. Alright. So did they just have their Breakout code sitting around doing nothing? They're going, we can't in good conscience release another version of Breakout and call it Breakout. That'd be ridiculous. But, one marketing genius said, but what if we use clowns? And the other guy said, I really hate it when you say clowns in that tone of voice because that freaks me the hell out. I just read this great book called Stephen King. It's brand new. It's called It. It's about these clowns. Yes, that's right. Clowns. You've got to say clowns in that voice just to, give it the right kind of inflection. That actually kind of hurt my throat a little bit. All right. So, yeah, it's Breakout. It's Breakout with clowns. Where you have 2 balls instead of 1, but you can alternate balls. They just called them clowns because they wanted to give some justification. And I can kind of appreciate that, but I'm also kind of miffed. I expected a little bit more. Like, I don't know how you would do tightrope walking, I suppose. How would you do that? It'd be difficult. Like a line down the middle of the screen, you show a blob on the center of the line, you try to maintain balance? Maybe? I don't know. That would seem like as faster you go, the easier it would be. Well, like the Olympic Games, right? The Olympic Games, well, for 2012, they were able to do this. The 2012 Olympics game is mostly just a bunch of QuickTime events. And I suppose back in the 80s, QuickTime events were not really a thing. So they didn't know you could get very, very far by just mashing a bunch of buttons. Which is basically all QuickTime events are. Let's go ahead and play the game here. We'll get into it. We'll play Breakout. So, okay, we're going to do... Sure, we'll do 1 first. So, we'll start with version 1. I'm going to start in position B and just go. Alright. That's freaky as all hell. The squished animation is great. Okay, the programmers had fun with this. Okay, there we go. I can't seem to pop any of the balloons, though. How am I supposed to pop the balloons? Okay, bounce on that thing. Oh, there we go. Actually popped a balloon. But the A button does shit for me, so I'm going to stop pressing A. I'm going to stop using the controller. Gotta put my controller down for a minute, and now we're going to use the mouse. Mouse can move. Okay, there we go. Mouse is going to move that way. So, do it. Okay, just gotta... Oh, nope. Can't land on the same spot, though I don't know how the heck I was supposed to rescue him there. Okay, getting used to this is fundamentally difficult. How are you supposed to... I'm confused. Alright, we're gonna do that again, because I'm bad. Game reset, dude. Okay, so it's not quite Breakout. Maybe I was a little hasty in my estimation there. But my other problem is that I can't freaking hit the balloons. They're too high. I have no way of... Okay, he just bounced off the side there. I don't know how I was supposed to save him. I thought for sure that... Okay, we did pop a balloon, but then he instantly crashed to the ground. Nope. Okay. Apparently, they just bounce off the sides. Nope. Okay, I guess I was standing in the wrong place. I'm really kind of confused in the screen. Scene. Oh, there we go. Popped a lot of balloons there. How would the... Why did... What? I'm confused. Why that worked. Oh, I moved too fast there. Too fast for the game to handle. I'm not confused why that one worked. Oh, come on. He could have bounced on that side. Alright. Okay, what the... Why do I get height sometimes and other times I don't? Does it depend on the... Oh, that totally didn't work. But that wouldn't have worked anyway. I'm on the wrong side. Oh, yep. That totally failed. Alright. Try this again. It must be based off of how far on the edge you are? No, that isn't it. It's not based on edge. How the heck do you get height? That didn't work. How do you reliably get height? At least in Breakout, it kind of makes sense. That didn't, though. In Breakout, at least you're guaranteed to hit with something. In this, though, you're not. You could hit something. Oh, that just failed. You could hit something, maybe, if the game decides to reward you with height. And these things, though, I don't know how you're supposed to balance that. You know what? We're just going to change the game select. New row if cleared. That's 2 players. We don't want 2 players. Sure, barriers. What the fuck? Why not? Do it. That was horrible. Couldn't even catch him. Got to catch the ball. Alright. I mean, I'm not sure this is actually helpful at all. I guess I could have moved slightly there. That could have worked. Alright, bounce me. Oh, bounced on the barrier and dropped before I was ready. That was bad, though. Wow, we're just gonna squish a lot of clowns. Which would be good for some people. They're like, you know, I hate clowns. I think they're evil. And that's really unfair to the clowns, but, you know, clowns close up are kind of creepy. What is it about clowns? I mean, they're supposed to be hilarious, right? They're supposed to be endearing. You're supposed to like clowns. You're supposed to be happy when they're around. They're supposed to be symbols of joy and I don't know what else. But obviously that doesn't work for whatever reason. Why is that? Why are clowns fundamentally I mean, maybe not fundamentally, but definitely. Okay, why didn't he bounce off the barrier there? That really threw me off there for a minute. He's not bouncing off some of the barriers. Oh, I keep doing that. He bounces off some of the barriers, but not all the barriers. Something's weird with the collision. Okay, so he does some weird bounces here that's really kind of confusing me. Oh, hey, we popped some balloons. What's our highest score here? Like 20? Maybe 25? Might be 25. I haven't actually been keeping track of our scores. Oh, no. Okay, so we do get points for every time we're able to successfully save a clown. Saving a clown is probably not the right word. Every time we do the trick successfully, I guess. So collecting the balloons is kind of secondary. I mean, it is necessary to actually score anything resembling anything, that resembles points. But what the hell was that? Oh, there we go. Nope, just in a bad plot. I don't know how the heck I was supposed to save him there. Some of these, I don't know how the heck you're supposed to do. Like, that one, maybe if I had gone over. Not being able to hit in the same position as the other clown makes this actually super difficult. Okay, I was bad-mouthing this before. This actually is a good take on Breakout, I think. It makes it challenging. It makes it much harder than original Breakout, and you know how bad I was at that. But having to actually balance this off actually makes it pretty difficult. We did not clear any of the rows, so I'm just bad, I guess. 2-player. Okay, new row of cleared, 1 player. Let's go. Let's go do it. Getting good height, though, that is a problem. How do you reliably get height? There's probably a good way to do it. Bouncing off the sides. Maybe he does it? Oh, but you have to be able to do it reliably and be able to catch the other guy. Oh, yeah, there we go. Bouncing off the sides does seem to help. Not necessarily, though, but yeah, most part. And then once you do it, once you bounce off the sides once, and that'll get you height for the most part. Yeah, there you go. Oh, but I was in the wrong place to save him there. Yeah, but once you get height, if you can maintain it. Yeah, because there's no way I'm getting up there this way, right? So I need to be able to bounce off the wall now. And the only way I can think of doing that... What is a good way to do this? How do we get to the wall? I have to start, like, over on the sides in order to get to the wall, I think. So I think we always start off on the side. Oh, that is totally the wrong side. That is not good. Oh, no, it worked. Oh, for some reason, though, the other guy gets a good height, but the one guy doesn't? Okay, physics is fucked. Physics is crying in a corner. I hope you're happy, game. Physics is just trying to, live its own life, and then you go shoot in the head. That's what you've done. You've tried to shoot physics in the head. What the hell are you thinking, game? Physics didn't do shit to you, but you're doing a bunch of shit to physics. Okay? Physics does not appreciate your attempt to dispel the law of conservation of momentum. I'm actually kind of pissed at you for that. Physics did nothing to you. What the hell, game? Keep bouncing off the sides. Seems to work. I guess that would kind of make sense in terms of, the clowns are trying to get as much height as possible because they hate balloons, because they hate happiness. I think that's just obvious, Clowns hate happiness. That's why they exist. Cue the comment from, the one clown in the audience, or the one, relative of clowns in the audience. You notice, clowns never have families of their own? That's not true. That's not true. That is slander. There are plenty of clowns with happy families. Happy they're away at the circus, am I right? No, that's mean. Also, these are not necessarily clowns. They could be clowns. But how often do you see clowns on these kind of things? Maybe the game developers and the marketing team chose clowns because they knew that players would be bad at first and constantly squishing them. And they're like, well, if we say these are just acrobats, people are going to be, traumatized at the idea of these poor acrobats being squished repeatedly. How do we make that better? Oh, you know what? Nobody likes clowns. And you're right. We call them clowns. Then people actually, take pleasure in the fact that they're being squished. That's brilliant, Bob. You get a promotion. And Bob's like, my name is actually, Sam? how the heck you confuse those two games. I have no idea. Somehow the jumps, man. I don't get the jumps at all. Maybe some people are just putting in more effort in their jumps. I'm talking to you, Bob. Right there. I see you. Right there, all alone by yourself. Yeah, I'm pointing to you. Not your brother there. Actually, are there, like, clown names? I know... Well, I've heard. I guess I don't know. Oh, that was just bad. So, when a clown does his makeup, supposedly he has to paint it on an egg and submit that to the patent office. Patent office or copyright office? Probably copyright office, right? Yeah, copyright office would make more sense. But then he submits it to the copyright office so that no one else can use his exact form of paint without his permission. But, I mean, clowns' names have got to be... Okay, see, I don't know how to save that guy. When that happens, what do you do? Just let him bounce? Let him die? Figure he's going to die anyway? Might as well not even get close to him. But I wonder if their names are also copyrightable. Like Bozo the Clown. Are there other Bozo the Clowns? Okay, see, that guy didn't get squished, even though he's in the same area. So how the heck does that work? Again, you're not obeying the name of the game here. I'm confused. But yeah, there can't be multiple Bozo the Clowns, right? That would just get confusing. I want Bozo the Clown. What do you want, Bozo the Clown that works on Saturdays? Or the Bozo the Clown that works on Fridays? I don't know. I want Bozo the Clown. Right? So, I mean, maybe just the popular, or the ones that get to be an icon, like Bozo the Clown, is pretty much an icon at this point, right? I mean, he's dead now, probably, I would guess. Maybe he's not. Maybe no one rescued him on the teeter-totter, so he got squished. Oh, we actually cleared out a row. It happened. It was bound to happen sooner or later. If I started babbling long enough, the game will just, give up and figure, let's just give him something. But yeah, it would seem like there are only so many names, right? I mean, how many Bozos could there actually have been before the Bozo the Clown got super popular? It seems like it would have been quite a few. Because there's only so many funny names in the world. You can name your clown Roger, and that's fine. Your personality, clown personality Roger? That seems bad, right? You probably don't want someone to say to you, I have a clown personality. You probably want to say, I dress up as a clown. I mean, is that still... I'm thinking for some reason in a job interview this would come up. That's probably never going to come up. Although I suppose, what hobbies do you have? And you're like a professional clown, you're probably proud of it, right? I can only imagine you'd be proud of it. I mean, there's a reason why you go into the hobby in the first place. Although you probably don't want it to be a hobby. You probably... I imagine being a clown is a lot like being a starting YouTuber. Stick with me here. The idea is that, you'd get to be in a happy place doing something you love, which for some reason is terrorizing children, or theoretically doing tricks. But, I mean, like joining the circus, I would guess that's where they send all the untalented people, right? Like, you join a circus because, you want to run away or whatever. And so you join the circus, but you have no, appreciable talents. So either you're stuck, and I should have moved there. Either you're stuck shoveling out the elephant pins, which they might make you do anyway. That might be the clown's second job, to shovel out the elephant pins. What the hell? Okay. But if you can't do anything else, everyone's got to be part of the show. Everyone. Doesn't matter what you can do. What's that, Bob? You have no acrobatic talent whatsoever? Well, guess what, Bob? You're now a clown. That's what we do with all the clowns. We shove them into the acrobats. We make them the brunt of all the jokes. We spray them with all the water. And then we put them in the firehouse technique that, was popularized by the hit movie Dumbo back in the 60s? Do they still do that trick? Granted, it's only been a couple of years since I was at the circus. The clowns were actually a really minor point of the circus. The circus was mostly about all the animal performers. And you might say, oh yeah, you went to a circus, they treat the animals really badly. They actually don't. Barnum and Bailey Circus actually makes a point of demonstrating how they treat the animals. The whole thing off to the side. I mean, okay, the pins are a little small. The elephants definitely don't like the small pins, but they're all together. they're not kept in separate pens, one for each elephant, because that'd be a waste of steel, really. But yeah, all the elephants are kept together. The lions are kept separate, but or separate from all the other animals. Obviously, they're kept all together in one big pride. So the lions all get to keep together. The elephants are all kept together. They're all fed pretty well. One of the things we could do was buy some peanuts for the elephants to eat. I mean, the elephants don't really like. I mean, they like peanuts, but peanuts are more like a treat to them. They're not really their main feed. Their main feed is hay. Alfalfa, I think, was actually what they were being fed. Somehow that got caught. Okay. Nope, but that one didn't. So I was supposed to just let them bounce off the... I think I was supposed to let them bounce off the bars. I'm pretty sure that's why those bars are there. So, okay, I gotta remember, bounce off the... yeah, bounce off the teeter-totter first, then bounce off the bars. But yeah, when I was at the circus last, which I guess would have been 2 or 3 years ago. Nope, see, I was gonna move away so he could bounce off the bar, and he totally didn't bounce off the bar, he just died. So... I think just keep them away from the bars. I mean, that only works so far. Oh, nope. We're too far away and then got nabbed. I mean, the clowns were there for a little while, but mostly it was acrobats and animals. The acrobats were really good. Really impressive. They did not operate without a net. But I was actually happy with that because every time they say they're going to operate without a net, I get freaked out a little bit. I get a little scared for them. And they might have actually had one performer perform without a net. And he was really good. I mean, obviously, he lived. You would definitely hear about it if the performer died on stage in the middle of a performance. Like this. This would be awful. We're basically killing clowns by the hundreds here. Or by the dozens, I guess. We're not near the 100 measure yet. I do like the flailing arms. I suppose that's what also makes them clowns. It's the flailing arms. So the clown part must have been, like, early in development, or, yeah, early decision in development. Originally they were going to go for acrobats. They figured, clowns will sell better. People don't mind if clowns get squished. They make funny little donk noises when they die. It's hilarious. Yeah, so, okay. But yeah, I mean, when you say circus, I don't expect just this. I mean, I appreciate the take on Breakout. I think it's a neat take on Breakout. Or whatever you want to call it. Breakthrough works too. But I expect more. I expect more. I expect animals. I go to a circus. The acrobats are definitely going to be impressive. No doubt about that. Acrobats are always impressive, even if they're not part of a circus. I mean, that's what Cirque du Soleil is, right? I mean, it's basically the circus without the animals. But this is not Cirque du Soleil. This is not Cirque du Soleil to the game. If that was actually, something that happened, that'd be great. Or interesting, at least. I don't know if it'd be great. It could be a really interesting take on a game, though. But if you say circus, I want animals. Lions, tigers, not necessarily bears. Bears are hard to control in a circus environment. Elephants, definitely. Always elephants. At least one elephant. I mean, Dumbo has really kind of just made that a standard. I don't think all circuses had elephants. Actually, how old are circuses? Circuses are probably like a medieval thing, right? Maybe. I actually don't know how old circuses are. They've probably been around for quite a while. Oh man, I'm just bad at this part entirely. Okay, bounce around. There we go. The opposite to the side. There we go. That's the kind of magic we want. Apparently only one person... Yeah, see, does not make any sense at all in terms of physics. Anytime you get that kind of height... No, let's let him bounce off. Don't even try to catch him. Okay, that guy you probably should try to catch. But yeah, so I'm a little disappointed in the concept. I mean, especially since so many of the games... I mean, look at, like, Land, Sea, Air, or the one we just played a little while ago, the one with the shoot. I'm trying to remember what it was called. Combat, I think was in the title. Combat something. No, it couldn't have been Combat because couldn't have started with Combat anyway. It's like, I don't remember. Anyway, some of the games have like 2 different game modes. I would expect at least 2 different game modes in here. I mean, I guess you do have one with the or you have some With the variation on the breakout, you have breakthrough, and then this version, which is fine. And squishy goes again, which works. But so what would I do for a circus game then? And that's really the trick, right? Is okay, fine. You're not happy with it. What else would you do for this? Oh, what the hell? I was barely. What, you can't go on the same side at all? I don't think that's true. So what else would you have? Lion taming. How would you do lion taming in an 8-bit game? How would you do it? And this isn't really 8-bit. This is probably more like 4-bit. How would you do it? Well, see, the best thing I can think of is like some kind of QuickTime event where you try to control the lion's mood. But again, QuickTime event would be like a modern invention, right? They had never conceived of QuickTime events back here. So that'd be interesting. Tightrope walking, I mentioned before, that'd be difficult, but maybe possible. Elephants, elephants do tricks, but it's based on the elephant tamer. I mean, that's not actually what he's called, I guess, but that's what he is. Yeah, elephant tricks, standing on each other. Another thing they had at the circus I went to was dog tricks. They had like a bunch of little dogs, corgis or something. I forget what they were. They might have been, I don't know. There was at least one corgi. Man, I'm being really bad at this because I'm distracted at thinking of all the things that the circus had. And trying to translate into a game, it's actually really difficult. I mean, this kind of works, and definitely, I remember the clowns doing, I mean, not necessarily this trick, they weren't trying to pop balloons or anything, but they did do a couple of teeter-totter tricks. I'm calling them tricks. They were actually feats of acrobatic skills, and it's clear that some of the acrobats were dressed up as clowns, or the clowns were dressed up as acrobats, either way. Because they were able to pull off some pretty impressive things. As long as the clowns stay away, you can at least appreciate their antics without having to delve too deep into, you know, the creepiness of their pasty white faces. Is it the pasty white that actually scares people off because it reminds them of death? That can't be true, because I know quite a few people who are basically, you know, would give an emo a run for their money on how much they appreciate death and dying, and they hate clowns. They think clowns are the creepiest thing ever. In fact, those guys might actually be the ones who hate clowns more. Because it's like, you know, you're just pretending at this point. I don't know what I could have done to save that guy. We're down to our last guy, aren't we? I think we are. And this might actually do it for this episode, too. Try to make it last as long as possible. At the very least, just catch the guy, right? Oh, okay, that's not it. Alright, we'll do one more. One more. Yeah, so I think Circus, I mean, it's an interesting idea for a game, but I'm puzzled on where you can actually go with it. To the point where, you know, if this was the only thing I could come up with, I'd go, okay, you know what? That's a fun idea, but there's no way I can make a full-fledged game out of this. Though, how much were games selling for back in the day? Games were selling for, shoot, I don't even know. It's like 20 bucks? Okay, see, I don't know how to save those guys when they're just gonna bounce off to a part where I have a guy in the way. Like that, right there. How could I have saved him? Not going towards him? Would he have bounced off of it? Nobody knows. Nobody will know. We actually got balloons on the first jump. How is that possible? How do we do that? Is it just where you land? Maybe? I don't even know, man. I'm so confused. But yeah, I think games sold for $15, which doesn't sound like a whole lot. And $15 for a one-note game is actually pretty standard nowadays. Actually, I paid $15 for just this game. I might be a little miffed. I mean, even in $1980, well, especially in $1980, I'd be miffed. But in 2016 dollars, I'd be miffed. If I paid $15 and this was the game, no. This has got to be, I mean, if you're gonna charge money for it, which is questionable, but if you're gonna charge money for it, I'd say maybe $3? $3 in 2016 money translates to what in 1980 money? Maybe 20 cents, which doesn't sound likely, but for the novelty of it, I mean, no one had ever done this before, right? This is a home game version. What do you do with that? It's got to be worth at least 15, right? Just for the novelty. I mean, dude, I've paid $15 for like weird games. I'm not like super weird, but definitely. I was gonna say definitely stranger than this. That's not necessarily true. All right, that'll do it. We've been bouncing around long enough. So thank you guys for watching. This has been Circus Atari, which is basically Breakout on a teeter-totter. This has been Atari Vault. I'm PC Universe, you're PC Universe 2, and I'll see you guys next time.